Seems like everything we hear is just a tale, but I got spread out, spread out, spread out, just spread out. Could have been there, you know, but I wish we had this world. That's what we need. When I wake up in the morning, love, and the sunlight hurts my eyes, there's something without warning that's heavy on my mind. Then I look at you, and the world's alright with me. Just one look at you, and I know it's gonna be a lovely day. When the day that lies ahead seemed impossible to face, when someone else instead of me always seems to know the way, then I look at you, and the world's alright with me. Just one look at you, and I know it's gonna be a lovely day. From the sun, the earth must keep evolving, and the rosebuds know the bloom in early May. Just hate knows love's the cure. You can rest your mind assured that I'll be loving you always. Now can't reveal the mystery of tomorrow, but in passing we'll grow older every day. Just as all is born is new, what I say is true, and I'll be loving you always. Until the rainbow burns the star in the sky. Always. Until the ocean covers everyone. Always. Until the dawn that conquers everything. Always. Giving all the true love after nothing. Accepting sins the way we think. Did you know that life that's given love a guarantee to last through forever another day? Just as time knew to move on since the beginning, and the seasons know exactly when to change. Just as kindness knows no shade, knows before your joy and pain, and I'll be loving you always. As the day I know I'm living by tomorrow could make me the past, but that I mustn't fear. For I'll know she's in my mind forever, 'cause I'll be loving you always. Day and night become my day. Always. You know you love myself. Everybody no more sleeping in bed. No more back thinking time.
DJ Marquise.
Well, be. There's so much hatred, war and poverty. Oh, wake up, all teach us the way. Maybe then they'll listen to what you have to say. They're the ones who's coming up, and the world is in their hands. When you teach the children, teach them the very best you can. Oh, yeah. It would just let it be. Oh, yeah, you gotta change it. Just do it. Make the old people prayer. They're the ones who suffer and catch all the hair. They don't have so very long before they touch their days. Want to make them happy before they pass away.
There's far too many of you die. You know we got to find to bring some love here today. We don't need to escalate.
see, war's not the answer, for only love can conquer hate. You know we've got to find a way to bring some love and pity. Pick it light and pick it sound. Don't punish me with brutality. Talk to me so you can see what's going on. What's going on? Yeah, what's going on? Oh, what's going
How in the world do you think everybody's supposed to respect you? If you don't give a heck about the man with the Bible in his hand, just get out the way and let the gentleman do his thing. You the kind of gentleman that's want everything your way. Yeah. Take the sheet off your face, boy. It's a brand new day. Respect yourself. Respect yourself. If you don't respect yourself, ain't nobody gonna give a good move. Respect yourself. If you're walking around thinking that the world owes something cause you're here, you going out the world backwards like you did when you first come here. Keep talking about the present and the moments of air pollution. Put your hand over your mouth when you call, that'll help the solution. Oh, you crackle.
Remember that thing outside? Probably do anything just to be outside. Gotta make smart decisions, yo, cause we outside. Continue winning or we ended all that we outside, huh? This ain't the time for haves or have-nots. Sitting around complaining, bragging about what we got. Gotta do my own part to make sure we last. So right now, I put on my mask. Yeah.
No matter what we do, until we be through. That is gonna die.
Look.
It's gonna be
Okay, I think it's about to be a good day. Got my mask on and my gloves on, got to keep my hood safe. Take precaution when I'm walking, don't care what the hood say. That's the challenge, I'm a challenger, get what my hood say, huh? We all in this thing together. It can't get caught slipping cause things seem to be better. So I try to stay inside, help my people to survive. And if I gotta take a ride, it's something in the weather. Just think you could be asymptomatic, hurting others not knowing that you have it. It's not even on a ventilator in a casket. You could've slowed the curve, but you ain't even try to mask it. This ain't the time for haves or have-nots. Sitting around complaining, bragging about what we got. Gotta do my own part to make sure we last. So right now, I put on my mask. Yeah.
Whatever we do, until we be through.
Got my mask on.
Yeah.
Hello, everyone. Can you all hear me? Hello, 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 and welcome to Wellness Wednesday with Mayor Broom. Mayor Broom, are you here with us?
I am, Ellen, and I'm so delighted to be here this evening for our Wellness Wednesday.
Yes.
So I want to welcome everyone to our second virtual Go Get Healthy Wellness Wednesday. I'm excited to see so many of you all here with us tonight as we grow our Go Get Healthy program and work to create a healthier East Baton Rouge parish. Now, for those of you who joined us early, I hope you enjoyed the music session with DJ Marquis. If you missed our intro party, don't worry. You can always access the live stream footage on brla.gov Wellness Wednesday. That's brla.gov/Wellness Wednesday. And you can drop your email in the comments section, and I'll be sure to email you some of my favorite songs to listen to, many of which DJ Marquis played today. We have a great program for you this evening focused on mental health. And we want to certainly elevate awareness around mental health and overall health and wellness. You know, music is one of my favorite ways to unwind. I enjoy and have at one time played music, played the keyboards, haven't played in a long time, but I enjoy listening to music. And research shows that music has positive benefits for mental health conditions, including depression and trauma. Music acts as a medium for processing emotions, trauma, and grief. But music can also be utilized as a calming agent for anxious moments in life. Our Go Get Healthy program is an extension of the work that we do in My Mayor's Healthy City initiative. Our work focuses on food accessibility, working to eliminate food deserts, incorporating nutritious foods into gas stations and stores like Dollar General, working with Baton Roots Farm, and distributing nutritious foods throughout our city parish. Now, in light of the coronavirus pandemic, we realize our program needs to focus on not only food accessibility, but all of the components of physical health that contribute to our health and wellness. Now, I want to introduce Ellen McKnight, who works with us as a Rebuild Baton Rouge Health Equity Fellow. Rebuild Fellows work collaboratively with our office and community partners to address systemic problems like blight, lack of affordable housing, access to health, economic development, food access, and safety, which lead to the continuation, of course, of poverty. Ellen will start our discussion on mental health awareness tonight, as well as a general health and wellness discussion. So, Ellen, let's do it.
Thank you, Mayor Broom. So, as we all know, May is National Mental Health Awareness Month, and we are so excited to talk to you today about all the components that help us be mentally well. So, we're going to be talking about cooking tonight with Chef Traci. We're going to be talking about growing with Baton Roots and Mitchell, and we're also going to be talking about moving around. So, we had the musical component, and if you put that playlist, don't forget to drop your email in the chat, and you can get Mayor Broom's very own playlist she's sharing with us. Thanks, Mayor Broom. But without further ado, we really want to focus on the physical aspect of mental health today. And so we have Dominate with Dre. He is a human movement specialist. Is that right, Dre?
Yeah, that's right.
Human movement specialist. So we're in for a treat. So without further ado, help us get moving to help better improve our mental health, Dre.
That'll work. How you guys doing? I am Dominate with Dre, the one that says you should dominate each and every day. So we're gonna have a full body workout today. I'm gonna put some tunes on. I'm starting it off pretty good. You guys know this song. So first thing we're gonna do, we're gonna get the legs warmed up. All right. Can you hear me? You guys can hear me? All right, legs warmed up first. All I want you to do, arms straight out, stand straight up. We're going straight back down. All right, so look, we have 20 seconds. All right, try to get as many reps as you can. Make sure you embrace that core, belly button in tight. We down, we straight up, chest all the way up, all the way down, engaging them glutes, and we dropping. We have 10 seconds left. All right, here we go. Let's work that sweat. Come on, down and up. There we go, good stuff, you guys, good stuff. And relax. So next, if you have some weights, you can grab a meat. I have 2 water bottles. This is gonna burn the same. All right, so look, we up tall. At the hip, we're gonna lean forward. We're gonna lean forward at the hip, back straight, chest up. All we do next, we're gonna pull straight up, squeeze the shoulder blades, drop down, and we go into the side, all right? Here we go, we have 20 reps. So pull to the side, that's 1 rep. Here we go, come on. Make sure that posture is nice and straight. There we go, chest up. I need to see your chest at the top. There we go, good. Squeeze your shoulder blades in. There we go, guys, there we go. Good, good, good stuff. We have 10 seconds left. Out, pull straight up, out. There we go, come on, let's go. Keep it moving. Nice. Last one. Up, there we go now. So we hit legs, we hit side delts, and we also hit back. Next, that's what I'm talking about. Get your water bottles. Next, right leg is gonna be straight up. Right here, I need to see your knuckles, all right? Knuckles in the front, with the front bottle in the front. All I want y'all to do is go up, rotate. You're coming straight down. We're getting the front delt. With this leg that's up, we tacked in the lower core, all right? Now, when we're down, leg drops. When we go up, leg goes up. All right, so we coming down, we going straight up. We have 10 reps on this side, then we're going 10 reps on the next. Let's get started. Let's go. 1, nice and controlled. There we go. Make sure that core tight. Let's get it going. I want you to feel a burn. Let's go. There we go. Good. Good stuff. Good stuff. Come on. Let's work. Let's work. Nice stuff. We have 2 more reps. Last one. Boom. Now we go switch legs. All right. Same movement. We going with the left leg. Here we go. Water bottles in the front. Leg down and up. Let's get it. Let's get it work. Let's get this work going. Nice stuff, guys. Nice stuff. That's 3. We have 10. 4. Good stuff. Let's go. 5 out the way. 5 left. 6. Come on. Let's work. Good. 8. Come on. Down and up. 9. Here we go. Last one. 10. Now, we still going to attack them shoulders. Make sure you shake it out. Shake it out. Loosen up. Next, we're going to something that's going to help to rotate the cuffs and also strengthen your back delts, all right? I want the water bottles to make an L with your arms, all right? From here, we're going to pull straight up, and then we're going to let them arms drop straight down, all right? Don't keep the elbows right where they are. Come straight up, straight down, chest up high, core engaged. Let's go. We have 15 reps. Go. So up, drop. There we go. Rotate. 2. Good stuff, guys. Good stuff. 3. Go. 4. Squeeze. Squeeze. There we go. Good. 5 out the way. Nice. Let's go. Right now, you should be feeling the burn. Here we go. Even if you're doing straight body weight, you still should be feeling it. Good. We have 5 left. 1. Good stuff. Come on. Pull. 2. Let's go. Pull. 3. 2 more. Woo. Let's go. Last one. Nice. Good work. Next, we're going to hit the biceps. All right. So arms down. Again, straight up tall. All I want you to do is rotate. Curl at the top. Squeeze. All right. We're going to squeeze for 2 seconds. Then we drop it back down. When you rotate, make sure that pinky come up. All right. You need to see it. Here we go. 15 reps. And go. Up. Rotate. Pinky. Squeeze. Down. Here we go. Come on. 1, 2. Make sure you squeeze it tight. 1, 2. Back down. Good work. Come on. Good stuff. Good stuff. Let's go, people. Let's go. Nice. That's 4. Come on. There we go. Good. Make sure you engage in that core. Everything we do, I want out that belly button in tight. Good stuff. Good stuff. Let's go. We want to feel a pump after this. We got to feel that pump. That's 10. 5 left. Let's go. 1. Good stuff. Pull up. 2. Come on. Let's go, guys. 3. Up. 4. Last one. Up. 5. Now, the thing is, that's just one round. That's just one round. We have more. We have more. We got to go. Here we go. Next, you remember, we started with squats, all right? So we go back to them. Water bottles down. We're going back to squat. Now we're going to change from to reps. We're going 20 reps, all right? Here we go. Arms straight out. We're going down and up again. Ready? And go. Stand. Up. Back down. There we go. Good stuff. Good stuff. Up. Make sure your feet are flat, attached to the floor, all right? Up. That's 3. Come on. Push it out. Belly button in tight. That's work. Good stuff, guys. Good stuff. Yeah, there we go. Now, since we already warmed up for the first set, we go pick it up just a little bit. I want you to come up, boom, drop right back down. All right, up, boom, drop right back down. We picking up this pace. We picking it up a little bit. There we go. Come on. Feel the burn in them legs. Nice, nice. Now, when it comes to working out for guys, you just want to get moving. All right. We just want to burn energy. We want to burn calories. Get moving. Make it fun. Anything. 2 more reps. Here we go. Drive it up. 1. Last rep. Drive it up. There we go. Now we're sitting back down. Next, again, we stay in with the posterior chain, which means the back side of your body. So next, remember, lean at the hip. Belly button in tight. Lean. Straight down. We're going back. Squeeze your shoulder blades in. Arms down. And then we're going to the side. All right, here we go. 12 reps. Ready. And go. Let's get it. Pull out to the side. I want you to squeeze them lats and also get them side delts, all right? Here we go. Come on, come on. Let's go. Nice. Remember, we got 15. We at 7. Good work. Good work. 8. Here we go, guys. Come on. Push it out. Push it out. Nice. Way to work. Way to work. It's 11. Keep it going. Nice work. 12. Let's go, guys. Pull, pull. 2 left. Nice. Last one. Boom. Out. There we go. Now, remember, we're going right back to lower abs, and we're going to front delts. So water bottles, I need to see your knuckles in the front, leg down. Remember, as we go up, leg go up. Then we coming back down, all right? Here we go. 10 reps. Ready? And go. Let's get it. 1. There we go. Come on. 2. I need to see that leg moving. Let's go. 3. Come on. Push it out. Woo. Come on. Up tall. Up tall. 2. work. Good work. 7 out the way. Keep it working. Keep it going. 9 gone. Come on, let's go, guys. 10. All right, let's get that other side. Here we go. Legs straight out. Bottles in the front again. And go. Boom. 10 reps. Let's go. Get them out. There we go. Way to work. Way to work. Woo. You gotta love it, people. You gotta love it. Here we go. 7. Come on. Let's go. Let's go. Drop it up. 9. Last one. 10. There we go. Now remember what's next. We're protecting our rotator cuffs, all right? We drop it straight down. We coming straight up. Here we go. 15 reps. Make that L with your arms. Straight out. Chest up. Back straight. And go. 15. Up. And just drop them. There we go. 2. Come on. We getting ripped. Some are coming. 3. Let's go. 4. Good stuff, guys. Good stuff. 5 out the way. Let's go. 6. 4. 7. Come on. Let's work. Let's work. 8 out the way. Yeah, you gotta love that burn. Woo. 10. 5 left. 1. Come on. Keep working. 2. Push it out. 3. Let's go. Up. Nice. Last one. Ooh, 5. Now remember, we getting the biceps next. So technique again. Up tall. Core engaged. When you come up, you need to see the pinkies on the side. Then we drop it back down. Remember, 2-second hold. Here we go. 12 reps. Ready? And go. Curl it. Squeeze. 1. Here we go. Come on. Squeeze. 2. Good stuff. 3. Let's go, guys. Let's go. 4. Come on. The good thing about having a bottle of water, if you want to drop some weight, drink out of 1 or 2 of them. Let's go. Come on. Here we go. 8. Let's go. Up. 9. Last one. And 10. And guys, that's it. Hopefully you can take some of these things. You can incorporate them every single day into your everyday life and your routine. Again, if you're just starting off, this would be great to start your journey. And grab some water. That way, again, you get tired, your arms get burning, get something to drink, lower the weight. All right. Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much, Dre. We appreciate it. It was wonderful. Ty Quincy Vessel on Facebook says she is feeling the burn.
That's what I'm talking about.
Okay. So if you would like to connect with Dominate with Dre, be sure to do that. Follow us on Healthy BR. He is also a American Heart Association fellow, and then he also can be found on Instagram at Dominate with Dre. Is that correct, Dre?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Oh, well, thank you so much. So we want to encourage you to move physically every day, right? To improve your mental health. The more often that you do it, the less strenuous it will be, and you'll be ready at any time to move those water bottles. Without further ado, we have Dr. Claire Bradley with us. Dr. Claire, are you here, Dr. Bradley?
Yes, ma'am. Hello. Good evening.
Awesome. Dr. Bradley, thank you so much for joining us for Virtual Wellness Wednesdays. We are so excited to hear and learn from you because we know it is Mental Health Awareness Month. So it might be your favorite month, one of your favorite months, right?
Well, every month is Mental Health Awareness Month for me, but yes, I love the community bringing awareness to something that people like to put a shadow over. So thanks for having me. Hello, everybody. Mayor Broom, good to meet you. And I'm glad y'all wanted to kind of put a spotlight on this, especially now. So thank you.
Absolutely. So, Dr. Bradley, could you tell us a little bit about your work and how it's evolved in this COVID culture?
Oh, okay. Well, let's see. Before pre-COVID-19 coronavirus, I am a psychiatrist. I already do telehealth, telepsychiatry, which means I see patients from one location and my patients are at a different site. And we do it via the secure server, internet, and that allows me to be able to reach a large area without having to travel and be different places all at one time. So what I do is, as a psychiatrist, is diagnose mental illness and treat mental illness. Most of the time, people are referred to me from their PCP or different types of referrals, and that's my day-to-day kind of work, is seeing patients.
Awesome sauce. So, Mayor Broom, what has your office's approach been to health equity overall, and has anything changed in this COVID culture as it relates to mental health?
Well, first of all, I just want to thank Dr. Bradley for being on with us tonight. And I will tell you that over the last few years, I recognize the inequities in our community. And so our Mayor's Healthy City initiative created the Community Health Needs Assessment and Joint Implementation Plan, which is a strategic approach backed by data, of course. And so we use this plan to create opportunities for partners to work collaboratively to improve health, prosperity, and equity in low-income and minority communities across East Baton Rouge Parish. And in addition to the Healthy City initiative, our office has an initiative called RECAST, Resiliency in Communities After Stress and Trauma. You know, Ellen, and I know certainly Dr. Bradley, you have seen this perhaps in patients, but I have found that oftentimes we endure trauma and we don't even know that we're enduring trauma. And so our recast grant has, over the past 2 years, committed over $720,000 to address the impact of trauma, to promote resilience, and to increase equitable access to behavioral health care. So those are some of the things that we've been doing.
Sounds like you all been busy over there, uh, tending to our city's needs. We definitely appreciate you. So,
Ellen, can I add something to
absolutely.
because I missed one half of my question, and Mayor Broom kind of touched on that for me. What's changed since the stay home order and the quarantine isolation practices, depending on what people have been exposed to? What's changed for me and my day-to-day routine has more to do with the site that the patients are at. Where before, mostly I see people while I'm in my office, they are in a clinic. So they're not at home necessarily. They're in a clinic setting. They come in like a scheduled appointment, and I'm up on the screen in the office. Now, one of the big differences is patients are at home and trying to get, and the Louisiana Medical Board has done a great job of kind of opening up a little bit of the room for us to be able to see people through various different audio visual ways. So it used to be really strictly either Zoom or another secure health kind of HIPAA health privacy medium. And now they've allowed us to, even in this emergency time, use FaceTime, use any kind of audio, video, visual sound that we can get with our patients to allow them to be at home. One of the biggest things that people, I don't think, were realizing, and it was one of my first thoughts, was this is a different trauma for our community. And we are a different type of community. We're a social community. A lot of places people don't interact and gather as much as we do. They might be close, but they're just passing. And we gather and we're together, and that's our culture. The thing that's been one of the biggest changes is having to be isolated, and everyone's at home, and trying to reach them in the space where they're supposed to be, which is at home. So things are just opening up, and it's getting kind of creeping back to normal, where some people are now able to come out and come to these appointments. But one of the biggest things I was worried that would cut down and is a huge need is that mental health treatment, not being seen as essential. But I think Louisiana's done a good job trying to grasp that idea and make sure people are still being able to be reached even from a distance. So that's one of the biggest, and she mentioned trauma, so I just wanted to kind of bring that into my first answer that I kind of skipped over. But
Thank you for mentioning that. That's really, really important, especially since we are we're a different culture. We're extremely social, and so we are experiencing a different kind of trauma that we probably won't be able to measure until way down the road, right?
Mhm.
So it is Mental Health Awareness Month, and earlier in the conversation, you thanked the mayor's office for bringing attention to an issue that's so often covered, right?
Mhm.
So mental health often covered, mental illness often covered, but what does mental health really mean, Dr. Bradley? And what's the difference between mental health and mental illness?
Right. So mental health, the what we're referring to is your cognitive, your behavioral, and your emotional functioning. Now, all of that means is it's all about how I think, how I feel, and my behavior, what I'm doing, functioning, how well am I doing things. Those functioning areas that we look at when we're trying to decide about mental health or mental illness. Socially, like we mentioned, we are a social culture, but how well are you able to socialize kind of on average compared to everybody else? That's a key functioning when we talk about mental health and mental illness. Another area is just being able to language, being able to communicate, and when you go to work. So for kids, I call their work is school, and for adults, their work life is either working at home or working out in the community. So we look at how when we talk about mental health, how your thinking, your behavior, and your functioning kind of overall, how you're doing. And compared to your usual, which is what we call a baseline, I don't really believe in a normal when we talk about people. Everyone's different. We're all made different. Thank God. There's a variety of us going around, but your baseline is what's best for you at the place you are in life. Um, and how much are you being impaired? So when we talk about being impaired in your functioning, the biggest thing there is trying to clarify, is there a mental illness or is there a diagnosis? So that's what I think about when I think of mental illness. Different diagnoses are things like mood disorders, that's depression, anxiety. One that's real big that people like to talk about now is bipolar disorder and PTSD. But there are other serious mental illnesses we consider bipolar disorder and schizophrenia or psychotic disorders. So all of those fall under the mental illness heading, and that's going to require, depending on your functioning, a treatment plan. For me, that includes considering medication options, whether it's a prescription or an alternative medication, something more natural, or therapy. And therapy comes in different varieties as well. There's individual therapy, there's group therapy. You can do these online, you can do these face to face. So there's that difference in mental health, which is your usual baseline functioning, and then mental illness. There's a break somewhere, and you're not able to function, and we need to treat. And that involves coming up with a diagnosis. That's where a psychiatrist or a licensed psychologist or a mental health provider can help you figure out what's going on and if you need treatment.
So when you refer to treatment, so you mentioned a licensed psychologist or a psychiatrist, what's the difference between a psychologist and a psychiatrist?
Okay, that's a good question. So in mental health, we have a variety of different types of providers. A psychiatrist is usually the head of making those treatment planning, diagnosis, and treatment when there's definitely medication usually needed, because that's the person who prescribes the medication. A psychiatrist is like myself. We go to medical school, we get a medical degree, an MD, and then we specialize in something. My specialty was psychiatry, and then I did a fellowship further training in geriatric psychiatry. So that's adults 65 and older, my favorite group of people. The next thing you can talk about are therapists or different kinds of counselors. So we have psychologists who usually are a PhD level doctor who is very well versed at different types of therapies. Some of them, depending on the state, can prescribe. And you're going to get kind of the closest to a psychiatrist or a nurse practitioner in mental health with that level of a provider. The next one is more of the counseling area where you go do therapy. They have licensed counselors. There are social workers who do counseling, and then there are other types of people who have counseling certificates and have completed programs, and they're very supportive. So all of these people are important in that team. When I make up a treatment plan, it's not all about medication with the psychiatrist, and people think of that to remember the psych doctor is the shrink. They're the ones who give you the medicine. We can, but we try not to. We try to use that whole team approach and use your support, your counselors, your social workers, your psychologists, everybody on the team to really help and get the person into recovery. That's back to their mental health side where they're functioning. So good question. Different people in that mental health world.
Awesome. So thank you for clearing that up because, we hear that all the time, psychologists, psychiatrists, and therapists. So there's several different providers in this space, and that's encouraging, right? In terms of access, from access.
And it's important that everybody know just because you're dealing with something, you're struggling through something, you need support, it doesn't mean you need a psychiatrist. If you do, or if you meet one, there's nothing wrong with that either. We're trying to get you back to functioning. That's the goal. There's a big stigma with needing counseling, needing any help with emotions or feeling like you're weaker. Mayor Broom mentioned getting people through trauma and more resilient. Well, resilience, we've looked at studies in different communities, different types of people. There's different levels of resilience, but we can all be kind of encouraged to be resilient. You don't have to be born that way. You could have been born very resilient, go through trauma, and now you're not. You can be brought back to that. So that's what treatment is about. And if people were more open to the idea that they may need support and treatment for that, it wouldn't be so much of a stigma. We would talk about it more.
Absolutely. And I think conversations like this helps break down the stigma because there's stigma in so many different areas as it relates to health, right? So the next question is for Mayor Broom and Dr. Bradley. Mayor Broom, what activities can our family and friends do at home to maintain and or improve our mental health? So that question is going to be for Mayor Broom first, and then we're going to kick it over to Dr. Bradley to respond. Mayor Broom?
Well, I believe that we have to have a holistic approach to our health and to life. I'm not the doctor. I always say that I'm not the doctor, so my comments stand to be adjusted and corrected as well. But I certainly believe that in a time like this, when we're dealing with the issue of COVID-19, that support is vitally important. Dr. Bradley mentioned our culture here in Louisiana, in that we are a gathering group of people. We love family, we love fellowship, we love connection. And so all of a sudden, COVID-19 has or should I say, tried to disconnect us through social distancing, through a stay-at-home order. We love to hug, we love to embrace, and all of that is very important when you're trying to get through a very tough season in your life. And so I think that for me personally, taking care of myself physically, spiritually, and mentally, I have to check off those boxes. And I think we all have to check off those boxes in terms of what are we doing physically, mentally, spiritually to make sure that we're healthy and whole.
That you hit the nail on the head. Holistic approach, physical, mental, spiritual, those are all, looking at those areas. So just to dig a little deeper into that, when we talk about physical, one of the biggest things for me, I don't care what you tell me you're coming in to see me about. You can be seeing pink elephants on the ceiling. You can have been depressed in your basement for 10 10 months and just coming out. You can be panicking every time you're in line at Walmart, afraid to get out of your car. No matter what you come in, and I want to know how you're sleeping. Number one, sleep is something that we take for granted. We are a working people. We like to kind of brag about how tired we are and how much we worked and how many days we didn't take off and how much we can carry. And really, we need to be more focused on our rest, our recovery, rejuvenating ourselves. That's how you really get to be the best at what you're trying to accomplish, whether it's work or home. Rest, sleep, other things, your diet, nutrition, making sure what we put in our body is healthy. I know this is your area, Ellen, but it's so important to be educated about what's good to eat. Just about everything we do and eat in Louisiana, there's a version of it that's a little better that we can try. And then we splurge when it's time to splurge at those parties and events that we're really, but our day to day, I think we as a group, as a whole, it's better to kind of rein it in with that nutrition and get educated on what's important for our body. And then, of course, the mind and the body connect. So that's, one of the biggest reasons why you need to have the physical for the mental. When it comes to mental, just to point out, our community is a community that's used to traumatic events. We have hurricane season, we have hurricane parties. Okay, we have ways of coping with trauma and we don't even realize it. We're anxious when the hurricanes are coming. It's natural to be supported with the group. We don't realize what we're doing is surrounding ourselves with our support system in a scary time. People are from here don't get that, but it works. And there's a reason that gathering works. We're used to floods, natural disasters, and then things that people don't always notice is that we're triggering over and over past trauma. So that's just the average person. I'm not speaking about people who've been through abuse, physical, sexual, emotional abuse. I'm not talking about people who have survived assaults, different types of other traumas. It's just baseline hurricane season every year, flooding that comes, and then here comes a global pandemic virus that causes us to isolate ourselves at home immediately. And especially if you're sick. And how crazy is that? Especially if you're sick and afraid and don't know what to do and don't feel good, stay alone by yourself. That's what we were told to do. So coming out of this, I just want people to understand you can't do it by yourself. We're here. Your community is here. And you want to encourage your family and loved ones to reach out. If you're noticing someone is not themselves, it's okay to point out, hey, have you thought about talking to somebody? I heard somebody say that we've all been through trauma as a community. You might be taking it in a different way, handling it different than another person. So bring it up without being afraid you're going to hurt their feelings. And if they say, okay, then just back off. But that helps take away the stigma too. Talking about how you're handling things with your loved ones is important. It brings out other people's issues when you're transparent about your own. So if I'm going to tell my friend, I've really been struggling being at home with my 4-year-old at my mom's house, not at my home for 2 months, that lets them say, I thought it was just me. And now we've connected. That's what community is. We connect. So that's one of the biggest things for me coming out of this is just making everybody aware, hey, you've been traumatized and that's okay. How are you handling it is the question, and what are we going to do to support you is what mental health providers are here for.
If I could add something, Ellen, when we talk about improving and maintaining our mental health, and Dr. Bradley talked about, our circle. I am really grateful for a circle of friends who always remind me to implement self-care on my agenda. And I don't think that I historically have been very intentional about that. And I think, and Dr. Bradley, you can certainly comment on this, but I think it's even more incumbent to implement self-care when you're going through a season like we're going through with this pandemic, the self-care may have to be adjusted. It may be listening to music, reading a book, playing board games with your spouse or something, but it can't be, especially for someone who's in an intense role like our first responders, like those who are leading in this season. You have to take time when you can for self-care. It should be implemented into the agenda. Dr. Bradley, am I on the right track with that?
Yeah, definitely. I think it's ironic um, that we just had this whole movement, self-care, hashtag self-care, hashtag self-care. 2019 was the year of self-care. I'd say we came into 2020 and then we look, the world has to stay at home and focus on themselves. So it's just things happen that way. But you know, just like you said, finding time to take care of yourself, prioritizing yourself is really, no matter what's going on in the world, is most important for everybody. You care for things all day long. So if you don't have any time in the day, every day, that you've done something to take care of yourself, um, and I don't mean mani pedis and, you know, getting your hair done, although those are some things I miss as self-care activities. But being able to just make sure mentally, you know, if that means meditation, just to go back to some things you can do, meditation, prayer, any higher power that you believe in. I encourage people, that is one of the biggest supports that people can have, is a belief in something beyond themselves. Mine is God and Jesus Christ, our Savior, but the rest of the people who have all kinds of other beliefs and faith systems, I try to get educated on those with my patients, because it's going to help them. It's going to help me treat them, knowing what they can reach towards besides focusing on themselves. So yeah, self-care for sure.
Well, I'm so glad that I know it's not all inclusive, but I'm so glad that many and petties are included in self-care. I thought you were taking those out, and I was concerned. But
In addition
in
to,
addition to, thank God. So yes, so Dr. Bradley, what is the safest way to connect with a mental health professional during this time?
well, so first I think about, you know, things like talking to your insurance provider. If you have an insurance provider, you want to find out who at the best cost you would be able to see, and get an idea of people in your network or in your actual community. Then there's your PCP. If you have a primary care physician, which we all should, if you don't, and you hear my voice, you need to call somebody tomorrow and try and find one. But they are your link to the medical community. So whether your leg breaks or you go through a depression, they can refer you to a specialist in every area. They might do a bit of a routine check and then send you out. The goal when you get referred with anything is always to be able to go back to your PCP and have it managed. You don't always have to have a separate professional, another doctor in a specialty, but that's what the PCP is for, to refer you. Then there's social media. You can see people online. I'm at Dr. Claire, MD. You can connect with people through the internet, like Googling, finding out who's a psychiatrist, a psychologist, or mental health providers in your area. Word of mouth is great. That's what I mean by being transparent. You'd be surprised at how many people already have a therapist or already have a psychiatrist, and they don't say anything. That's their secret doctor. So you want to talk about those things and share. If you've got a good person you're talking to, even they can give you other referrals. So word of mouth is good too.
Okay. So, with that being said, since it is Mental Health Awareness Month, what can individuals do to raise awareness around mental health to try to decrease the stigma around it?
So I've touched on some of those. Again, transparency,
Transparency.
being open. And I don't mean in my community, as an African American woman, as a woman of color, a lot of women of color, not just African American women, but it is greater stigma in our community to need help or to tell your business to people who are not in your family or in your circle. I think that's gotten better through the millennial generation and moving forward. But like I said, my area, my specialty is geriatric psychiatry, so I still have a lot of patients who find it hard to be accepted, whether it's at church or with their family, for being diagnosed with something like bipolar disorder or depression, or to say they have to take a medication for now that helps them feel better, helps their mood or their sleep. So that helps decrease the stigma when you're able to have people, the appropriate people. You don't have to spread all your business, but people who are supportive in your life, and then your medical team that would include the mental health team. Definitely helps decrease the stigma. Then supporting other people when they tell you something. So if somebody tells you I'm struggling with this or that, and you aren't supportive, that's another way of kind of hiding something or encouraging people not to say what they're going through or how they're feeling. Most of the time we do that and we're not supportive because we don't know what to do or we don't know how to respond. So being educated, talking to your doctor, asking questions, advocating for yourself is another way to kind of decrease that stigma in mental health. Believe it or not, the mental health stigma is throughout the medical community. Okay, there's a long history of doctors not having the same respect for mental health providers that they do for others, like a surgeon or an OBGYN. It's not a real science in a lot of older ways people looked at things. And other doctors supporting psychiatrists, funding going to mental health from higher up in the government, from the federal to the state to local government, those types of things also help decrease stigma, being able to shine a light and support out loud, like the mayor mentioned with programs, that encourages people to come out and seek treatment or learn and get educated about it for friends and family.
Psych. Thank you. Thank you so much, Dr. Bradley, for sharing so much light on this topic and bringing so much clarity to a topic that it's a little bit foreign to us. So thank you for the resources. Thank you for the insight. We did have one question. I love hearing about that approach to use and increase protective factors before trying to use medication. Are there any tips you can share for increasing protective factors for our kids and students right now, and for educators and parents? But I know those are kind of a compound question, but if you could hit us with a 1-2.
I got it. So overall, what I'm hearing is, what can we do to increase those protective factors with people that we know, like our kids, our family? The biggest thing there is kind of what I've mentioned, but you want to focus on when they say protective factors, what I understand that to be are things that are going to protect me and keep me resilient when I go through stress or trauma, things that are going to bring me back to my mental health. So to increase those things or keep yourself resilient: sleep, nutrition, keeping physically active, moving your body. Studies have shown activity and exercise your brain too. You don't have to do crossword puzzles and word searches just as a way to exercise your brain. When you walk, whether you walk around the neighborhood, jog, or you really do some type of training, that helps you and protects you mentally and physically. So just the healthy lifestyle, healthy living, and it's hard. Again, we're Louisianians, we have fun, but when you slide back, just start over. We every day is a new day.
Thank you so much, Dr. Bradley. We really appreciate you. If you all have if you'd like to connect with Dr. Bradley further, you can contact her and connect with her on Instagram, I believe. And I believe that is Dr. Claire, MD, if you would like to contact her further. Yes?
Yes, that's on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Dr. Claire, MD.
All right, Dr. Claire, MD. Fine. Thank you so much, Dr. Bradley. Thank you so much.
My pleasure.
So last Virtual Wellness Wednesday, we discussed underlying chronic conditions that contribute to COVID. And so this is our show and tell portion of Virtual Wellness Wednesday. And so we encourage anyone who's listening this week to email us and let us know that you would like to do the show and tell portion for next week. So this week we have Keon Davis, and he is going to share what he learned last week about as it relates to chronic diseases and how he implemented them this week. Keon, are you there?
How y'all doing? I'm here.
Hi, Keon. Go ahead and share with us. So you're on for show and tell. Give us your perspective and experience for virtual work.
It was amazing. I had an opportunity to get some information that would help me implement things into my business. So I own a smoothie company. I'm in Atlanta, Georgia. So we talked a lot about things that were heart healthy. So I have beets and different things and fruits and vegetables that I was able to learn about that was very, very good to implement in my smoothies and drinks and things to help people, during this COVID-19 period, because a lot of people don't understand the things that it takes to help them because it don't taste good. You know what I mean? And so a lot of us will take something a couple days. If we say, look, you can drink this and it'll help you lose 50 pounds in 20 days, right? If it doesn't taste good, then we might do it a couple days, no matter what it'll do for us. So what I've learned, a lot of things that I've learned last week was I can take certain fruits and vegetables, and with what I do, I can make it taste good so that the consumer or our people can take it and it'll help them, it'll benefit them in the long run. Because you know how we are, we can't too much eat or drink things that don't really have good flavor to it, or those type of things. So it's really important to me that I give our people something that they can digest, something that they enjoy, and something that they feel good about doing. You know what I mean? So whether it's, my grandmother or my daughter, across the board, we'll be able to make something that'll benefit them to keep them safe during this time. Because we never know, who can get it when it comes around, when it blows. So it's very important to me that I try to instill, whether it's sea moss, whether it's ginger, whether it's beets, whether, whatever the case may be, I want to make sure that we can implement those things to help our people as a whole. So last week was amazing, man. And I look forward to, implementing these new recipes and things like that. And we can help more people become healthier and live in a better life, because this COVID thing, man, it attacked the people that's not healthy, right? If you're healthy, then you have a fighting chance. But most of us, like the doctor said before, we like our seasonings. We eat things a certain type of way. So let's kind of fight that and give it some flavor and things like that, but still be healthy at the same time. So last week was amazing, man. I look forward to joining this every week and getting this information and really implementing this thing and moving forward with it.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Keon. And you come on by next time. We're going to be back here June 3rd, I believe. That's right. June 3rd. Okay. Thank you so much. And so speaking of roots and ginger and kale and things of that nature, all that has to be grown out of the ground. And so we had a healthy partner here with us, Baton Roots, and not just Baton Roots, it's the Mitchell. He's world famous. And so he's going to share with us a quick gardening tip. So Mitchell, are you there?
I am here. Hi, Ellen.
Hey.
How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm good. So how mental health is, I'm sure a lot of people can guess, I do a lot of gardening. And the tip that we have for this week is about growing your own herbs. So gardening can be really intimidating to people. A lot of people are staying home right now. And starting your garden and getting something growing it's a perfect time for that. So we have made a video which is going to be sent out in the follow-up, which I'm not going to give all the spoilers, but I do a demonstration at the farm that'll give you just enough tips to get a little herb garden. Since gardening can be so intimidating, I think it's best to start with herbs. You can put in a little pot that drains well on your front porch. And then you can use the herbs in your cooking, like everybody's talking about healthy eating. I know people like to infuse a lot of water. Mint is super easy to grow in a pot, and it's a good thing to start growing right now. So the video will be followed up in an email, and be sure to check it out. And we challenge you to take the tip from the video and use it. Show us on social media. You can tag Baton Roots, Healthy BR, the mayor, and then you can be featured next week. Is that correct, Ellen?
That sounds like a plan to me. Okay. So thank you, Mitchell with Baton Roots. We're going to send you out a video with a gardening tip. Be certain to take a look at it and then tag us on social media, and you can be here for show and tell next week. So he's talked about herbs and things that you can grow. After you grow, we want you to cook it. So Chef Traci, are you there to give us our cooking tip?
I am. Hello, everybody. Hello, Mayor Broom, Dr. Claire. Thank you, all panelists. It's always an honor to see actual faces outside of my house. So with that said, we bring so many great points that you have to do self-care, and the mind and the body are connected, and also the body and the mind have a connection that's constant. And how can you do that? And how can you do that immediately? One way that I have been working on my self-care is by implementing spices. When you're cooking, this is turmeric. It helps to pronounce it if you have a bit of a British accent. Turmeric. It's a little difficult. An English accent is turmeric. But it has, the only thing that I can say that's negative about this spice is that it stains pretty bad. If you get this on a shirt, if you get it on the side of the stove, you're going to be scrubbing a little bit. You're going to do some stain treatment. But with that said, this is a natural anti-inflammatory spice. It comes in a root form. It comes in a pill form. If we're picky about flavors, get it in however you can stand it. So pill form, spice, and it's very neutral in flavor, but I admit when I've tried this in the root form, I wasn't crazy about it. It's hard to describe. Also, I add this to my tea. I add this to sweet peas. I add this to broccoli. I add this in my rice when I'm cooking it in a rice cooker. I just sprinkle some in. So my rice kind of has that saffron rice appearance, but that means I am constantly getting a cycle of anti-inflammatory properties in my system. So as I'm in my house, I'm missing my family, I'm missing my friends. I'm, concerned about how long the virus is going to be a threat in our community. I'm constantly having this helping to counteract that stress, the cortisol that comes with that ends up turning into things like headaches, muscle tension, back pains, joint pains. You're fighting that with anti-inflammatory spices. And secondary to that, I also keep ginger root in my house. This can easily be kind of grated over food, great on salads. I have put this in oatmeal before. Also in teas, you can slice it and put boiling water over, strain it, put a few slices in your tea. That is a very spicy way to have it, but I do enjoy that flavor. There's also, I'm holding a jar of ginger root powder. I buy it in bulk and kind of hold it in mason jars. So that's another way to put it in tea. If you all have heard of golden milk tea, that is amazing. I don't know what took me so long to try this, but it's actually with a plant-based milk, which I would recommend. You would add a teaspoon of turmeric, you would add a teaspoon of cinnamon, you would add a slice of ginger, a pinch of black pepper, because black pepper helps to activate the benefits and properties of the turmeric. They just kind of work together, kind of like vitamin A and vitamin C. One thing helps to activate and catalyst for the body receiving it. So with that said, you could add sweetener to that golden milk, or you could scale back, especially if you have arthritic issues that tends to trigger the pain. So scale back from the sweetener if you can. So in addition to that, there's many ways to get your tea in. There is tea bags. If you do grocery pickup, you can order tea. Don't forget that when you're going ahead and ordering your grocery pickup. This is a ginger tea as well. This is a turmeric tea, and you can doctor that up with, I could show it one more time. You can doctor that up with a little bit of black pepper. I know that sounds weird, but you will not even taste the black pepper. You will just feel amazing, and you'll have that relax that you really need to have so that you can get the sleep that Dr. Claire Bradley spoke of. Sleep and staying hydrated and that kind of thing. That is where the metabolic processes start to kind of come together. And of course, you want movement, but if you feel like your anxiety is leading to depression and you can barely get in the mood to move and exercise, at least this is a start. This is affordable. This is accessible. This is like $4 for maybe a box of 16 bags. And then you can reuse it. You can steep it a second and third time and really get those benefits. I cannot live without chamomile tea. And I don't know if anyone's heard of Cassede's Market on Florida Boulevard. That is not a shout out. That is actually just to let you know that international markets tend to have whole leaf chamomile. So this is literally flowers that I'm dipping my hands in. I have bags of chamomile tea, just like the ones that I showed you before, but the chamomile flowers help to work as a natural sedative and calming agent in your body. And you can always add a good old lemon to activate those antioxidant processes. Lemons are kind of becoming my best friend these days. They're just great for everything. Additionally, your brain health is affected by the oils that you prepare food with. A lot of us are having to cook at home. And with that said, we grew up, with vegetable oil, canola oil, we deep fry a lot of things in our culture, and I can't be the food police and tell you to stop frying, but I can recommend the oil that might do a little bit better for your brain. So let's start with the oils that are good for frying, but also the oils that are good for your brain. This is avocado oil. It's good for up to 500 degrees. Again, it comes from avocados. We know how beneficial avocados are to our system. It's great for our skin, our hair. Lots of good fats there for the brain, so that you tend to have less, issues of, why did I come in this room? What was that thing that I was just thinking about? You're getting the functional processes of the brain to continue to get whatever nutrients it needs. And then with that said, there's grapeseed oil. I wouldn't recommend deep frying or high frying, but it's kind of like I'm starting you at the top, 500 degrees, and we're working our way down. So this is kind of like medium to high heat. Grapeseed oil is like avocado oil in that they're both neutrally flavored. So you're going to feel like you're still using vegetable oil. You can make the transfer from vegetable oil to that and not feel like you're doing anything different. And lastly, olive oil. This is highly recommended for room temperature, dipping, salad dressings, warm applications, but not frying. This is your simmer, low heat oil. Otherwise, you're losing your properties that you're even purchasing it for. And these are a little bit more expensive, but worth the investment. And lastly, we want to make sure that we keep good snacks on hand that are healthy for our bodies, so that we can continue to keep the nutrition going. So walnuts. I'm going to try use my camera here again. These are just walnut halves. They're actually, if you take a close look at them, the halves of the walnuts look like little brains, a little hint that they're brain food. And you can get omega-3 fats from them. They are high in omega-3. They can be used for breakfast. If you're the type of person to skip breakfast, this is kind of a segue into not skipping meals. Unsalted, unroasted. It has all the benefits that you could possibly need for good brain food, and then you move into a snack or a lunch or a dinner. So are there any questions so far?
No, Chef Traci, thank you so much. We are going to type up all of those goodies and send those out, okay? Make sure that you put your email address in the chat. Thank you so much, Chef Traci, and thank you so much, Mitchell with Baton Roots. Listen, we want to thank everyone who tuned in. We especially wanted to thank Mayor Broom and her Healthy BR partners. And so that is Grow Baton Roots, the American Heart Association, Baton Roots, Grow Baton Rouge, the American Heart Association, Top Box. Thank you to all of those partners. Be sure to connect with Healthy BR on Instagram, Facebook, and their website to get connected to those partners and check out their resources. Mayor Broom thanks you. We all thank you. So listen, Mayor Broom has a surprise for us. Mayor Broom, are you here with the surprise?
I am, and thank everybody. This has been so rich, from our exercising to our mental health to our nutrition. Oh, it's been amazing. Thank you all so much. And thank you, Ellen. As I mentioned earlier, music is one of my favorite ways to unwind. Music also is a language that unites all of us. A few weeks ago, I talked with a few local artists and wanted to develop a message that would help our community understand the times we are presently in and the importance of masking up. And so some of our artists came up with something that they want to share tonight that I am so excited about. So please welcome Copper Top and Erica Jones performing a song they created for you, Baton Rouge. It's time to mask up.
Keep playing.
Yeah. Thing outside, they do anything just to be outside. Gotta make smart decisions, yo, cause we outside. Continue winning, no, we in it all, and we outside. This ain't the time for hands or have nots. Sitting around the lane and bragging about what we got. Gotta do my own part to make sure we last. So right now, I put on my mask. Yeah. Hey, no matter what we do. Hey. Come on. Look. Mask up. God is on our side. Got my mask on. Got my mask on. It's gonna be alright. Okay, I think it's about to be a good day. Got my mask on and my gloves on, gotta keep my hood safe. Take precaution when I'm walking, don't care what the hood say. Like the challenge, I'm a challenger, niggas what my hood say. We all in this thing together. You can't get caught slipping cause things seem to be better. So I try to stay inside, help my people to survive. And if I gotta take a ride, in any weather, just say you be asymptomatic. Hurting others not knowing that you have it. Not even on a ventilator, in a casket. You could've slowed the curve, but you ain't even trying to mask it. This ain't time for have time. Sit around complaining, bragging about what we got. Gotta do my own part to make sure we last. So right now, I put on my mask. Yeah. Hands up. No matter what we do. Mask up. Come on. Until we see it. Mask up. Mask up. Hey. It's on out. Mask on. Got my mask on. Got my mask on. Talk to me. Stop the whining and the crying and complaining. Another day to testify and say you think. Come on. I know it's hard to have to deal with all the changes. Don't worry, cause I know what it's saying is. Got no time for putting up a fight. Come on. Everything's gonna be alright. We must keep our distance right, so we don't lose our love. Stay home. Mask up everywhere you go. Cover your mouth and nose, so you won't be exposed. Ain't got no time for half and half nights. Come on. From complaining, bragging about what we got. Gotta do my part to make sure we last. Everybody put on your mask. No matter what we do, mask up, mask up, hey. Till we see it. Come on, mask up, mask up. God is on our side. He's on our side. Mask up. It's gonna be alright. Cause at this time, we gotta do what's best. We can't worry about self. We gotta do what's best for the community. Do what's best for everybody. We gotta protect those who came before us to make sure we give for the people that's after us. God is on our side. It's a temporary thing. We'll be back stronger than ever. It's gonna be forever. Alright. And this song is called Mask Up. Yeah. I go by the name of Copper Top. This is the lovely Miss Erica Jones. On drums, we got Mr. CJ Trustcliffe. And on keys, Mr. Christopher Worthy. And at this time, I just want to give a special shout out to Mayor Broom for having us. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. You trusted us with your vision, and we tried to bring it to life the best we could. Until we see this thing through, we all got to mask up, man. So I want to say thank you to the city of Baton Roots. Thank you to the state of Louisiana, the United States, and the world. Mask up for real. It's gonna be all right. Thank y'all. Thank y'all so much.
All right now. Time to mask up. You heard it here first. Okay. So listen, thank you all. That was really awesome. This universal language, Erica Jones, Copper Top. That was great. Time to mask up. I hope we can find it on the playlist. Speaking of playlists, if you would like Mayor Broom's playlist, be certain to leave your email in the chat. Be on the lookout in your email for an evaluation from the Virtual Wellness Wednesday team, okay, from Mayor Broom's office. We want you to fill out that evaluation, telling us what we're doing right, telling us what we are doing wrong. Make certain to connect with all of our partners. And if you connect with us, you will know when the next Virtual Wellness Wednesday is. It's going to be on June 3rd. So Mayor Broom, How was good? We're good. We're good to go. Mask up, you guys, and we'll see you guys for the next virtual Wellness Wednesday. Bye. Mask up.